Hello everyone. Good morning, afternoon, and evening for all of you. My name is Hari Mahardika, and at the moment, I'm working as a disaster service manager at the Open Mapping Hub, a humanitarian OpenStreetMap team regional representative for Asia Pacific. Today, I'm going to talk about one of our supports at Open Mapping Hub, and it is called Disaster Service. But before I jump to the main topic, I would like to give you some general information about the hub itself. At the Open Mapping Hub, we have a vision to create a sustainable ecosystem of OpenStreetMap in the Asia Pacific. For our long-term aspiration, we would like to see OpenStreetMap is used by all actors as one of their data in planning and decision making, and no more underrepresented community because all of them will actively involve in the OSM movement. Last but not least, we also want to see OpenStreetMap as one of the go-to data sources and services among the people for humanitarian, economy, and even entrepreneurial activities. As a way to achieve those aspirations and visions, the Open Mapping Hub have several approaches start from identify, recognize, nurture, and collaborate with all important and key actors in the regional level. We also will actively promote the use OSM data to address and solve of the challenge and make Hub as a regional public good to bring data, technology, and people together where they all could share their benefits. Now, I hope you more understand about our organization. Before I start, I'm going to give you general information about today's agenda. There are 5 topics that I would like to share with you, starting with why and what disaster service, and followed by how disaster service will support and the relation between HOT, OpenStreetMap in disaster management. And I will close this presentation with what the future step for our disaster service. Why disaster service? I think this is important thing to be asked because in general context as well, we need to know the reason or problems that we have before we provide something to address and solve them. These are some unpleasant facts about why disaster services needed in the Asia Pacific region. First fact is the Asia Pacific region is the most disaster prone region in the world. And nothing to be proud about it, of course. For the last 50 years, disasters have taken more than 2 million lives and ruined around 7 billion people's lives. If we break it down further, we understand that flood is the most common disaster in this region, while earthquake is the deadliest disaster. The fact number 2, it's 68% of HUB 25 priority countries, or around 70 countries, are having high or very high level risk of index in 2020. From those countries, Southeast Asia and Oceania are the most prone regions where have 7 countries each with high or very high level of disaster. Another fact, we have 2.5 billion, around 2.5 billion people who are living in our priority countries, but only 13% of them represented on the map so far. Only 13%. And this also relates with the next fact about the mapping completeness. Most of our priority countries in the Asia Pacific are still having relatively lower rate of mapping completeness in OpenStreetMap. Thus, no wonder there are a lot of people still not shown on the map. Last but not least, fact about the capacity of the community to map their area in OpenStreetMap. Based on our internal assessment, which could be also not really accurate as I speak, but there are only 11 countries or less than half of the priority country which have at least one organization or community that use or had a project that related to the OpenStreetMap mapping. Based on this fact, therefore, we also really want to prioritize community capacity development so they could lead the mapping initiative in their country and or support their nearest neighbor country to develop their capacity in the local community. So, Those are the unpleasant facts and also some of the reason why we need disaster service in the Asia Pacific. Next question is what disaster service and how they could support community and people in the region in disaster management context. There are three main words in our main purpose in disaster service: support, assist, and connect. Yes, there is no lead word in our purpose as we really want to see the local actors and community could independently and have initiative to actively use OSM, hot tools, and other open source technology in disaster mapping activities. For what? Of course, to increase their resilience and reduce the impact of disaster through data-driven decision making, not based on prediction. And how we could achieve the purpose. There are several things that become our focus. First is coordinating with institution, organization, communities, and even individuals, and also always prioritizing local actor to conduct any disaster mapping activity in OpenStreetMap. To make sure the local actors could lead the activity, we also are going to build their capacity of how to map in OpenStreetMap and use OpenStreetMap data for disaster management phases. Also, to strengthen our relationship with the national and regional partner, particularly on how to maximize the potential of OSM data to be used in disaster management. At the end, we hope we could have independent leader in each of our priority countries who could lead the local response and doing coordination with their national disaster management agency and partners by using OpenStreetMap, and we at the hub could become the main partner to support them in all disaster management cycles. So talking about support, now I'm going to talk about how disasters hub can support the community and partner in disaster service. There are 4 types of support that we created. They are partnership, mapping, capacity development, and technical. Partnership about how we could support our partners' need for disaster management information by using OpenStreetMap data and combine it with other data resources to create accurate and reliable information and data so they could be used for creating policy and decision making in disaster management. Moreover, continue to build relationship and networking among regional, national, and local organization and community to provide peer-to-peer support in disaster mapping activities. Mapping support is our effort to increase mapping completeness in unwell-mapped areas in the Asia Pacific and complete the information that is essential to be used for disaster management. Hub are aiming to support this in all cycles of disaster management, starting from the scratch, from preparation and conduct the field survey until the data are ready to use. We also aware that relying on hub support whenever the partners want to conduct the mapping activity is not a good thing. Therefore, by increasing their skills and capacity, particularly in OSM mapping, and use the data through some of our training and workshop programs, it would create sustainability in the upcoming years, of course, for the community. We also aim to provide a learning resource where everyone could access, learn, and share the materials to the other people. After we collected the data and upload them into OpenStreetMap, it doesn't mean we successfully do our disaster services. Of course not. So to maximize the potential of the data and information that are available in OpenStreetMap, so they can be used for disaster management, we also want to provide technical support through some tools in QGIS to make disaster analysis by combining the OSM data with the other data resources. The example of this will be explained further in the next slides. So, how we run this support to our partners? In general, we could support based on their situation, capacity, and needs. It is not the hub who decide particular supports more suitable to for specific country. Instead, through our communication with them, they are the one who will define which support that they need from us. Moreover, we are aiming to increase our effort to share community project and activity in OSM mapping for disaster management. It could be used through our communication channels and documented all of them, so these community efforts could be more acknowledged and known by wider people, organizations, and communities. Now, I will talk about how OSM mapping could be very beneficial for disaster management and its relation with OpenStreetMap and HOT. This is comprehensive yet simple example about how map completeness could be used for disaster states of disaster analysis. Sorry, for different states for disaster analysis. In general, the more we complete the map, the more and deep analysis that we could do. For example, if there is no data on that area, so there is no analysis, of course, and so on. You could see that OpenStreetMap is very essential to provide all the facts and information on the field, right? It all started, of course, by learning how to map OpenStreetMap and use some of the tools that could support the mapping activity, such as HOT Tasking Manager. After we know how to get and collect the data, we do the data collection, aka mapping, both remotely and on the field, and upload it into OpenStreetMap website. Then, we could download those data that we need using HOT export tools to create some of disaster analysis map, such as evacuation route, shelter location, and critical infrastructure location capacity. Furthermore, OSM data could also be used in wider disaster management analysis if we have other data and combine them with the OSM data. So, I will highlight this. The OSM data, OpenStreetMap data, it cannot resolve all the disaster analysis alone. That would be better. It would be better if it could be combined by other data for another resources. So for instance, if we combine them with a real-time or with the real update high-resolution satellite imagery, we could make disaster impact analysis for infrastructure, buildings, roads, and even for land use. Another example, if we combine OSM data with the hazard or risk data, it's also essential because we could produce damage assessment or disaster impact scenario or even real event impact for particular disaster in affected areas. And if we have a demographic data, social data, there is a very high possibility we could produce map of capacity or vulnerability in that area, as well as disaster impact based on the population group, such as age group, gender group, or socioeconomic group. I have been talking about the concept of how OSM data could be used in disaster analysis. Now, I will show you some of the maps that HOT and HUB produce on our previous activity that used for disaster management. So, here is an example of how we could determine priority area based on the existing data in OSM and combine them with the high risk level or population number in the particular areas. These would be very useful as we want to preparing our disaster mapping for preparedness and increasing the capacity of the people in the priority areas. This is one of example where the OSM data was used for building damage assessment. So, after we do response mapping with the government and community through tasking manager in the affected area, and if we have, or in this case, the government gave us the post-event imagery, satellite imagery to be combined with those data that we collected in the affected area. So we can produce the liquefaction map in Palu in 2018. Next is the capacity map that shows location and distribution of critical infrastructure in particular area. The information is important to see how good the capacity of the area to handle the impact of disaster just in case they also affected by it. It also could be used to determine what should be improved on the area to increase the capacity and reduce, at the same time, reduce the vulnerability of that area related to the disaster. Next, Combining the OSM data with hazard or risk data also could give us more analysis about how to see the impact possibility of disaster to infrastructure or to population. We also could determine where are the safest evacuation shelter for people so they could act immediately and get help as soon as the disaster struck. And the OpenStreetMap data is not only used by the government organization to produce a printed map or, in other words, a static map, but also used by other organization or institution on their disaster service monitoring online platform. It meaning the map itself is an online map and more dynamic map. This first example from Peta Bencana, where they use OpenStreetMap as a base map and combine it with their crowdsourcing disaster report, so it would give you more detailed information such as where disaster happens at the moment based on administration level area, and also what the critical infrastructure affected and so on. Next example is from the Nationwide Operational Assessment of Hazard project, or we call it NOAA project. And it's conducted by University of Philippines. So similar with the Peta Bencana, their website use OpenStreetMap as a base map and overlay with their risk data for various hazard to give you the information about the risk level in the particular area, as well as some of the first action that we should take, and know what the nearest infrastructure that affected or not affected around us. And last, I'm going to discuss about what's next for disaster service at Open Mapping Hub Asia Pacific. As an organization and the support, I could say this is also relatively new and we are still developing our ideas. But at the moment, we also have a running program that we call See Leads and See Inspire. On this program, we will support potential women across region to develop their leadership skills as well as increasing their knowledge, both technical and non-technical, and use them to solve the problem that they are facing in their communities. On this program, you will be mentored by wonderful individuals who has a lot of experience in many fields, including in disaster management. So, if you are interested to join, please apply as soon as possible as the registration will be closed on 27th of November. So, make it quick. And the second, as I said, we are still designing our program support for the next year to make sure the support of disaster service meet the needs of the community and partners. We conduct assessment to determine and design the future program that will provide in relation with disaster service. So please do participate in this assessment by fill the form that you also access to the link that written on the slide. Last, I will say thank you, and you can always reach me to our team through these emails. And as a closing statement, thank you so much for your attention and your attendance on my session today. Thank you.